So, welcome. This is another edition of the Isaac Newton Institute podcast. My name's Dan Aspel and I'm part of the administrative team here at the Institute. Today I'm sitting down with Henri Elad Altman.
Hello, Dan.
And Henri is a program participant in an ongoing program called Scaling Limits, Rough Paths and Quantum Field Theory. We have lots of different program participants and workshop participants coming through the Institute every year. Henri is an excellent example of someone who has been here for the length of the program. He's also relatively young in that he's 27 years old and he's currently studying for his PhD. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm finishing my PhD this year.
Excellent. So I thought it would be really interesting for us to have a little chat about the reality of your life here, what it's like to come to the Newton Institute and study, and so people can get an impression of the sort of one person's experience of a program. So tell me, when did you arrive here for the SRQ program, Henri?
So I arrived really at the beginning of September, I think September 2nd. And in the first week, there was the first workshop. Many talks about that were dedicated mostly about quantum field theory, but also there were some stochastic PDE talks. Maybe you want me to explain what it means?
Well, if you'd like to, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, as a reminder to the listeners, I'm not a mathematician, so.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe I should explain how this relates. The topic of the workshop and the program relates to my work. So what I'm studying is what we call stochastic partial differential equations. So these are equations that are suggested by mathematicians to model some physical systems that evolve in the presence of some noise that we model by random data. And there are several issues with these equations. Namely, we can write them in a formal way, but describing them, or rather comprehending them mathematically, is a very difficult task. And so in my PhD, I am studying one such family of stochastic partial differential equations. I'm trying to give a meaning to them. So this is one of the topics of this program organized at the Isaac Newton Institute, namely stochastic partial differential equations. But there are also two parts. So the naming is quantum field theory, scaling limits, and rough path. Okay, maybe I will not explain too many details, but quantum field theory is a theory that arises in physics. It comes from quantum mechanics, and it has some links with stochastic partial differential equations because of the physical models that we want to describe. Often it is convenient to use some equations to model them. Then rough path is a topic which is more mathematical, but it comes from mathematics, but it can be used to better understand these kind of equations. And so it has applications, for example, in physics. And then finally, scaling limits is a rather general notion that appears in many contexts in physics when we try to understand the macroscopic behavior of a system from the microscopic description of it.
So I'm getting a sense that these are different fields, different sort of schools of thought within mathematics that are all being brought together. Mm-hmm. And you're in this sort of interesting position where your experience, expertise is being called in to apply them to these other fields. Is that right to say? Yes,
so that would be, ideally that would be the objective. Now I'm still starting in my research. I'm still a very young researcher, but this program and the seminars that I could attend enabled me to enlarge my research perspective. So I started by studying a very particular kind of equations. And now, thanks to the program, I have a better understanding of how this relates to problems that come from physics, for example, quantum physics or statistical physics, and what indeed the applications could be, and which I think is very important, and maybe it could give me ideas for problems that I have encountered or will encounter in the future.
It's really interesting because I don't know enough about what the structure of their PhD would be. But is it fair to say that not many people are in the situation that you're in? Not many people get to spend 3-4 months on a research program such as this as part of their studies? Is this a sort of a rare opportunity is what I'm trying to ask?
That's right. Yeah, that's a very rare opportunity. I'm very lucky to have had this opportunity. I think it's a very nice moment of the of my research. I mean, it's the way to do it in the end of my PhD. I think is very good. I think it will enable me to maybe find a topic of research in the coming months, because my PhD I will defend in the coming months, and then afterwards I will have to look for another project. So I think that enlarging my knowledge and my research perspectives will be very important in that respect. And also I have the opportunity to meet people that are very prominent in the subject, and also many people in the area, and so I think it's important for me to have some links with the other persons in the community.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit further about that, because I'm trying to imagine myself in your shoes, and the way you've described it as a lot of prominent people in the fields that you're working alongside, I might find that a little bit intimidating, I think. How do you feel about it?
Yes, it is. It was a bit intimidating for me at the beginning, but then after in particular in the first workshop, where there were so many famous people that were giving talks, and I felt intimidated. But then in the following weeks, where there were a bit less people and we had more the chance to interact one with another and chat and discuss. Also, some of them gave seminars to explain in a very clear way their topics, their area of research. All these opportunities enabled me and also my colleagues to make the acquaintance one of another, and we didn't feel too much intimidated afterwards. So I think it was a very valuable opportunity.
And obviously you have been here for roughly 3 months. As we're recording this, it's the middle of December. So a little bit over 3 months. And how have you found life away? Your home institution's in Paris.
Yes, that's right.
How have you found being here for that length of time and sort of living in Cambridge in the presumably in the accommodation which the Newton Institute provides?
Yes.
What's it been like being working abroad, so to speak? Although we're not very far from Paris, obviously.
Yes, that's right. So actually, it was quite a very special experience, and I really did appreciate it a lot. I still do. The environment is very nice, very different from what one can have in Paris. So Cambridge is overall a small city, and there's kind of it's very quiet, and I can, for example, in the morning when I go to work, when I go to the Isaac Newton Institute, I walk a lot in the parks, and often in September I used to see the cows in the park, so a sight that was not very usual for me. And it's a very nice, Cambridge is a very nice city. So I think it was quite inspiring for me to work in these conditions. Also, of course, because of the historic background of the city. I had the chance to visit, for example, many colleges, but in particular the Trinity College, which is very famous in particular because of Newton. And so I think, my staying here was an opportunity to work in a very nice conditions. And I think it will be very special when I come back to Paris. I think I will see at several things in a quite different way, maybe. But I think overall it was very enriching and valuable experience.
And has there been, outside of the sort of, to use a crude word, the sort of networking experience of meeting all of these other people in your field and beyond, has there been any social aspect to the programme? Have you spent time with other participants in a non-mathematical way?
Yes, we have. So one of the great advantages is the international. The participants come from very different countries and places in the world. In these communities, mostly European, but there are also Canadian people from Canada, the United States, and also other parts of the world. So there was very interesting, enriching interactions one with another, and we discussed many different things, not only mathematics, also the situation in our respective countries, what's the situation of the research or politics or many related things. And I think it's also important because I may want to travel in the coming years, maybe work abroad for a while. So it's important to have that feedback from other people and try to better understand the world of the research, for example, in other countries.
Yeah, absolutely. And are you heading back to France for the Christmas period, or when will you leave? When are you heading back?
So I will be heading back on Saturday.
Ah, exciting, yes. Yeah. So we really have reached the very end of your time here.
Yes, it's the very last week.
Well, I hope it goes very well. There's an afternoon and a day left of this particular workshop, so I hope it goes very well for you.
Okay, thank you.
It's been a pleasure speaking to you, so thank you for your time. And again, thank you for telling us all about what it's like to study here and to be part of an I&I program.
Thank you, Dan.